Yo, what's up, guys? NBA Chalk, Sunday Night Basketball. It's March 20th, 2016. We just came off of good Saturday night. We're in the last stretch of the not the playoffs, but the stretch of the regular season. We're gonna enter the playoffs soon. Just a few games left. Still a couple of playoff spots still left from the West and the East, but you're going to be probably seeing that fill up in some time right now. Speaking of which, we have two teams that are trying to fight for their playoff spots, who are currently have playoff spots, but not clinched though. The Portland Trailblazers, who rest in the sixth seat, and the Dallas Mavericks, who rest in the eighth seat, with the Houston Rockets resting in the seventh. So let's get into their game, the Dallas Mavericks versus Portland Trailblazers, in which the Mavericks win 132 to Portland Trailblazers 120 in overtime. Dirk Nowitzki goes off in overtime. He was pretty much going off the whole entire night, but it was very important in overtime, especially from Deron Williams three that broke the tie. Mm. They just went hampered. They were playing like their life depended on it. So let's just get into the stats. So Portland Trailblazers first. Aminu had 12 points. Mason Plumlee had 14 points, 19 rebounds, 2 assists, and a block shot. Very good for him. Good step up. McCollum had 22 points, 8 assists, dishing out. And the same thing goes for Damian Lillard. He had 26 points and 8 assists as well. So the backcourt combined for 16 assists, pretty much trying to get their whole team involved. We look at the bench. We had Henderson giving you 8 points, Harkless giving you 6 points. Six Harkless actually had 8 points. Sorry, 6 points from Davis. Carby had 24 points. 52 rebounds. 30 of them were defensive rebounds, so they played a hell out of defense. They had 14 turnovers though, but not as bad. That was not that bad. 40% overall from the field, 39% from the 3 point range. They did make 64% of their free throws, which is not pretty good at all. Um, let's see. That's pretty much it for the Portland Trailblazers. So Dallas Mavericks, Wesley Matthews filling in for Chandler Parsons, who is out. 15 points, 5 out of 7 from the 3 point range. Like I said, they were. Well, I didn't actually say that. Um, on the most part of this game, it was the Dallas Mavericks 3 points, three pointers, which they were hammering them with, which includes the Deron Williams 3 pointer that broke the tie in overtime. But I'll get to him in a sec. Dirk Nowitzki, he went off and put the nail in the coffin, putting up 8 points in the overtime. He had 40 points overall, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. This guy was playing like he was on a real mission, trying to stay alive, trying to keep this team alive. Zaza Pachulia didn't play much, only played 4 minutes. I think he got hurt at some point in the first quarter. We'll see, we got to see updates on that. Derek Williams, no, Deron, sorry, not Derek, Deron Williams, 31 points, 16 assists. So he was dishing and swishing at the same time. But big factor in this game. Him and Dirk Nowitzki just pretty much handled it themselves. 11 points from Raymond Felton, and a couple of players providing off the bench, including J.J. Barea, David Lee, Devon Harris, and Charlie Villanova coming back. So that's pretty much it for the Dallas Mavericks. 55% overall, which is top notch. 60% from the 3-point range, which was the biggest factor, or at least one of the biggest factors of the Dallas Mavericks win. 82% from the free throws. 16 turnovers, though, they made. But they picked up 50 rebounds, including 42 defensive rebounds. So they played a hell out of defense. And there's nothing more to say. Both teams are struggling to keep themselves alive. The Dallas Mavericks is riddled with injuries, while Portland Trailblazers are dealing with lack of talent. So they're trying to keep themselves alive and try to do some noise in the playoffs, which I believe both teams are going to make the playoffs. It just depends on which spots are they going to be in, because they're not so far off. Dallas is one game behind Portland Trailblazers, and I think they just officially took the 7th spot from Houston Rockets. I'm not sure, because I know for a fact that Houston Rockets do have 35 wins. I don't know how many losses they have. But right now, the Dallas Mavericks need to make a stretch, especially them, because you have Utah Jazz. I don't know what they're doing. They could be just going on a huge stretch. They need to be on a huge stretch because they're just only a few games behind Dallas. Like 2 games at least. And same goes for Portland Trailblazers being 1 game above Dallas. So that means it's not far off. That means they're very much in danger. But I believe in these 2 teams. I believe in the head coaches of Terry Stotts of the Trailblazers and the Dallas Mavericks of Rick Carlisle, or I forgot his name, Rick. Both teams are fighting for that spot, man. They're fighting for the spot. Everyone else is just far away. Memphis Grizzlies, who are dealing with injuries. Clippers. Who else? Thunder clinched the playoffs. San Antonio Spurs clinched the playoffs. Golden State Warriors obviously clinched the playoffs. So still more to go. So that's it for me, guys. Let's see who they face. Trailblazers face Dallas Wednesday night. So Trailblazers and Mavericks will face again on Wednesday night. They're taking a few days off, so they're going to be battling for another spot again. So until then, peace.